Right, we were getting things together. Welcome, everybody, to another Saturday Night Live. I am your host, DJ Glowing Ice, once again. And today, what we're going to go, I got a little sticky note with a few things here. Before we get settled in, I guess I'll just chill and wait for some people to get in, I guess. But for those of you all in the future, man, I really hate, ooh, I really hate how this stand is. It's like, okay, all right, is that okay? Whew. So right now we're just gonna chill for a little bit, okay? Have a little drinky poo. Oh. Everyone, take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Before we start the live stream, it is just as involved. You're watching. You're making some effort to watch this. You're gonna take a deep breath. All right. We are going to start this. I want to say right off the bat that if you want to say anything at all, you could write it. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel sad. Don't be scared. Go ahead, type whatever you want, all right? We're going to get into some very fun stuff today. I feel good, all right? I feel real good about this live stream because we're going into some really awesome stuff. First off, I'm going to tell you about my trip to the Soda Museum. And the revelation that came to me when I was talking to it was the owner of the museum. His son was running the cash register and kind of giving a kind of hit and miss tour, which was pretty awesome of him to do that. Dude was like 20 or 21, and for him to have so much knowledge about soda really blew my mind. Because when it came to me and collecting soda and learning about the lore, how Coca-Cola came to be from a Civil War veteran that was trying to wean himself off of morphine, I think it was. That's how he created Coca-Cola, was to help him get off that. That became like his drug of choice, was that. Didn't work out that well, though. But yeah, he knew all of that. And I'm like, that was very impressive. But his dad just had this massive collection to the point to where he opened up this whole museum, which I think, as you can see, I am sinking higher and higher with soda stuff to the point where I'll end up opening up a museum myself. But anyways, in this museum, I had a huge revelation about New Coke. We'll get into that. Gonna let you know about stuff that's gonna be happening next week with the channel, pertaining to this little thing that would lose its flavor pretty quickly. Fruit stripe gum, if you guys don't know what this is, it was 5 different flavors of fruity goodness, and it would last about 2 seconds. Now, I'm exaggerating with that, but it was very brief, and then you just felt like you were chewing on just some wet cardboard. So, yeah. Anyways, I haven't had fruit stripe gum in a very long time, and I realized they were discontinued uh, earlier this year. And I was like, oh no, now I have to buy from an eBay seller. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, I am live, man. What's up, Ian? I think that is your real name. So yeah, I'm live. It's a rare occasion. I want to do it like every day, but uh, you know, I'm a man. I'm a grown man. Okay, cool. Now we're well acquainted. Um, I've mentioned a few times in my videos here and there. It's slipped from some of my friends when we're recording, but for those of you watching the live stream and for those of you watching in the future, my real name, surprisingly, is not DJ Glowing Ice. It's B uh, uh, Ache Blake. So there's a shocker. Boom. But DJ Glowing Ice has basically become, I feel like, my real name. So yeah, Chris Dreyer, sup, dude? Another cool sweet soda, dude. Doesn't do too much on yeah, hit that like button, yeah. Uh, but yeah, funny thing is when I first started radio in 2006, uh, I forgot what I was really wanting to go by, but they wouldn't let me go by that name. I forgot what I was even wanting to go by, like Philip McCrevis or something like that. Something really, I knew it wouldn't work. I was 20 years old. I was just a little, wild child. So they had me choose something different. So I went by Gilmore on the radio station there. And I just never liked that. I chose Gilmore just because it sounded just so stupid. So it was just kind of like my little way of rubbing it in my program director's face. So I've always kind of been a rebel. But at the same time, they deserved it too. So it's not like, oh, I was just the bad guy and everyone was nice. It was kind of like, yeah, sticking it to the man in a way. But hang on. I seen some people. Uh, hang on. I see you, Ian. I gotta look. How do I see the chats here? These are so stupid. Live chat. There we go. All messages are visible. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay. Just recently got the bottle of Pepsi Fire. Not gonna drink it because of the rarity. Also have 3 bottles of Orbits coming in, but only drinking one. I've had 2 other flavors, including the one you had, and they were awful for the most part. And wow, hey Blake, what's up, Ian? We are getting very personal in this live stream already, and I'm loving it. I meant Pepsi Holiday Spice, not Fire. Yeah, okay. If you tried Orbits, which I think from what you wrote, yeah, they break apart in your mouth. And I just want to tell you, as a person from the 90s that actually drank it while in the 90s, they were far better. So, Orbits, if you buy a sealed bottle, let me grab one here. If you buy a sealed bottle of Orbits now and you get these balls in your mouth, they're going to just disintegrate into mush and it's not going to taste good. It is absolutely rancid now if you were to drink these. I reviewed one too and I was just like, no, no. Uh now Pepsi Fire was so awesome. That was like one of the best flavors. It was like drinking a big red chewing gum. It was so good. And it sucks so bad, man, that they discontinued it. Um, I hope they bring it back like they did Pepsi Blue 20 years later, or how long that took them. 18 years, I think. Um, but yeah, I heard someone say that wasn't too hip on things that they tried Big Red Soda and they said it was cinnamon flavored. And they talked about, oh yeah, I could just taste the cinnamon. It was just horrible. And I was like, don't do Big Red Soda like that because we all know, unless you're this guy on this podcast no one listened to, that Big Red Soda is just cream soda that's red. Yeah, exactly. Yep, Ian, you're right. That's all it is. I have a bottle of Big Red I need to review. I'll show you something, guys. This is just ridiculous, all right? I'm gonna have to pick this up. Ugh. So, sneak peek, because usually you only see the videos from like waist down. You never really see the uh, floor of the studio, which is an absolute mess. So I have some bottles that I picked out of my collection over here that I'm going to put up for a video to shoot. So it's like, okay, I don't want to dig through my shelves to really find it all. So I pick them out now. So when I'm shooting it, I can easily put the bottle on the table, shoot some shots, put it down, grab the other bottle, so on and so forth. But anyways, here is the absolute mess. Here are some bottles of stuff that I'm going to present in a video. And this Tasty Cake Garfield movie catnap stuff is like the barrier. And here is all of the stuff that I still need to review. And me being not that big of a soda drinker, it is absolutely insane to have all this soda just sitting here waiting. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. So I think I have combined with all those drinks, I think I have 3 months worth of content just sitting there that I just need to go through. And it's gonna be just besides doing reviews, I want to do the documentaries, just little snippets, maybe some funny, stupid things that will make people unsubscribe. I thought I thought you were a documentary channel. What? If you made more documentaries, you'd be bigger. I don't. I'm not that. Okay, I'm not just documentary guy. I like to have fun. That's why I started YouTube in the first place. If I started YouTube just to make documentaries, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. But documentaries, I kind of just got into that for some reason because I don't know. I enjoy doing it from time to time, but that's not everything in my channel. Hang on, guys. Let me, because I have to situate myself here. Oh, let's see. Big Red. Pepsi Blue is my favorite. Pepsi Blue is awesome, dude. Vanilla orange and the wild coconut flavor. I ordered 2 raspberry citrus, and yeah, I only tried that pineapple one, banana cherry coconut one. That one I don't remember. I think my brother had the vanilla orange, and I remember that one being really awesome. So that one was good. And yeah, the Pepsi Blue bottles, they're already. Let me. I have like a whole bunch sitting here somewhere. Yeah, here's one here. Yeah, it's already getting sucked in, and yeah. So yeah, vanilla orange. If they just stuck with that one, it was so good. While we were on the subject of orbits, oh, I'm so excited! I got to show you. I got all 5 flavors. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the bottles suck in. There's so many people that ask me all the time, like, yeah, even being 30 years old, it's all good. But yeah, getting into like the suckage of these bottles, it's like, let me find one. As you guys see right here, this is my coveted Crystal Pepsi collection of like all different variants of stuff. Um, there is one version, I will say this, there is one version of Crystal from the makers of Pepsi that I think has a blue tab on there that I don't have. I just have these with the regular chrome tabs like the other ones. But I've seen somewhere, I don't know if it was just a promo can that was never used in the public or reproductions or whatever, but I know there's one with a blue. I think that's the only thing, like stupid little variants like that that I may not have, but like every release of Crystal Pepsi throughout the years I got and every craziness. I have a version of this that is so immensely rare that I've never seen anyone else have it. So that's what I'm more happier about than having the blue tab thing there. Sorry guys, let me get to all your feedback. My Pepsi Holiday Spice bottle is sucked in like a vacuum. I was originally gonna drink it, but I hate to ruin. Yeah, Ian, I'm like you. I know my buddy Maximus the Fourth. He will buy something that is 300, $400 and drink it on camera, and I'm just in my head, in my heart and my head, I'm just dying while I'm watching him just crack open like that Pepsi green bottle that he bought. I saw that same one on eBay, and I was like, I don't have enough money, or I do, but do I want lights on in my house? Yeah, I can't afford that. But I'm glad he got it and he got to try it. But a little part of me died seeing him crack that open as a collector. But I think from him trying that, I don't want to spoil his video in case you guys want to watch that. It didn't turn out to be that great of a tasting soda. But yeah, I think if Holiday Spice, that's why I'm correlating all this to Holiday Spice. I got a can, I got a bottle or two over there, but yeah, Holiday Spice is amazing. I remember when it first came out, and man, I'm so excited to do the Wild World of Pepsi history on Holiday Spice soon. I'm at 2014 4 now because I put out Pepsi Edge, the history of Pepsi Edge today, actually. So I'm putting them out as the soda's chronologically released, and yeah, so we're in 2004 now, and 2004 has a lot of flavors and variants and things like Pepsi Lime, and yeah, I remember trying Pepsi Edge. I never tried it personally, but I've heard a lot of people saying, yeah, it was very good for what it was, a mid-calorie soda. But yeah, I mean, I got a full bottle, but if I had it in can form, I'd crack that baby open and try it right away. But let's see here. I know they need to bring back holiday spice, Zach. Spice. Uh, let's see. Let me go through the chat, guys. I don't want to let anybody down here. I'm always originally trying to drink it. I have a big Crystal Pepsi collection, but they're all empty. I drank 2 old ones and they were all right. Dude, Maximus makes me cringe when he opens them. Yeah, and I'm talking drank the old Crystal Pepsi. I actually figured out how to make holiday spice super easy if you want a recipe. Yeah, I'd actually want the recipe. That'd be pretty tight. Never got to try it. I was only 2 years old when it came out. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sodas even for me. I was born in 86. And still there's like, oh, new Coke. I was just like a kid when this came out and I didn't even know. No, wait. New Coke came out in 85 and was discontinued in 85. But there's going to be something that's going to blow your mind very soon, which I didn't realize, but I was just a kid and I couldn't figure out exactly. Oh, okay, I am 5 years old and new Coke is out somewhere. I'm going to go and hunt it down. I'm going to beg my dad to take me to all these stores. No, that wasn't going to happen. When I was that age, what was I want? When I was 6 years old, what is the thing that I wanted the most? Probably Nickelodeon GAC or something like that. Probably. Yeah. Or I was wanting to watch Beavis and Butthead late at night on a school night. Like new episodes were out. God, what a time, man. What a time that was. I'm sorry for you young kids that don't know what it was like growing up in the 90s. And I know like hindsight's 2020 looking back, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, nostalgia paints the past with gold. And there was a lot of bad things that happened in the 90s. Like I remember one time I was riding my bike and I got jumped at the park just for no reason at all. I got punched in the face and all this stuff. It was that was nuts. And but you know, that happened in the 90s, but there was a lot of other cool things, like a lot of just stuff that was coming out then. That was awesome. Let me get back to your comments here. Let's see here. Did you ever try Jolt Cola? Twice the caffeine. No, I never tried that. I remember seeing a Beavis and Butthead episode where they touched on the topic of Jolt Cola. And I was just like, oh, that's something. But I think as a kid, my mom would have never let me, or my parents would have never let me try it. Which is, I don't know, maybe they could have. I was drinking coffee at 5 years old, but I always loaded it up with a bunch of sugar. I tried New Coke actually. They brought it back for a promotion for Stranger Things, I think back in 2019. Uh, Kids were mean in the 90s. Yeah, they were. They really were. But I think I was kind of a reactionary. I think me as a kid, I was always wanting to be friends with everybody, but just the mean kids kind of made me a very like they made me become introverted artificially because I wanted to be friends with everybody, but there were so many mean people that I would be introverted, but I really wasn't, if that makes any sense at all. Like I there was something I said at one point. I was just like, I'm not an introvert. I just don't like the people around me. That's what it is. So it's like you're kind of in this weird purgatory where you want to go out and meet people, but everybody is just kind of unfun to be around. So, But yeah, let me take a look here. Live chat, blah blah blah. Jolt was at Dollar General before 2019. Yeah, I thought they brought back everything. Also, Ian, I will have to go back and look at that comment, and yeah, I will see. I'd love to make that. I'll make a video on making holiday spice Pepsi. Um, let's see. Where am I? We're on the topic. Jolt was good. I drank it a lot when it was re-released. Yeah, most of my neighbors, all my friends live far on the other side of town. Yeah, send it there. Send it to send the recipe to just I set up another email account to make it shorter. It's iiwrpodcast@gmail.com. You could email me then, and if you want to chat or ever reach out, that's where you could, email me. And anybody else watching this, if you ever want to email and ask questions or whatever, just without commenting on YouTube, it's iiwrpodcast@gmail.com. So iiwrpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. All right. So let's look back at the chat one last time before we get in. I'd be interested in becoming friends, man. It's hard coming across people that are really cool. But that's been a great thing about YouTube is, you know, excuse me. When I started this channel, it was kind of just like, I'm not gonna. I already know I'm gonna have negative comments, and most people aren't gonna like the stuff. I'm just gonna put it up and just ignore it all. But as I'm sitting there ignoring, there'd be comments like, "Oh, this is really cool, dude. Oh, that was a great video." And I'm like, What? There are good people? Really? Oh, that's cool, So I'm always looking. So, um, and oh, oh yeah. So the 2019 release of New Coke, awesome. It was so awesome. I loved it. I actually did a review of it, and it was in 2019. It was the very start of the channel, so I was very unhip to how to produce videos right. I was still just kind of learning off the cuff, whatever. And I such a bummer, man. I have audio from the review, but all the video got just wiped clean, and it was just trashed. So, yeah. I know, Zach. It is hard. It's kind of like you. This is my wonderland. This is where I go away from anything in reality. And it's like, okay, this is all the stuff that I think is cool that probably everybody else in this vicinity of my town or the 50-mile radius thinks is dumb. There are people that would be like, why did you spend $40 on a can of soda? You're dumb. So I don't even try to mention anything that I do to, anybody really close to me. So, because it's just like I'm going to get an earful of things I don't want to hear or I'll just ignore. So, there's that. Every once in a while, there'd be like a little bit of interest of, oh, yeah, I remember that. That was pretty good. Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. All right. No, you know what I say about your family thinks you're stupid for buying old sodas? I mean, I am the kind of type of person to where I will listen to everybody and always think they're right, and I always think I'm wrong, and I'll be like, "Oh, maybe that is," but then I've gained this thing in my head, in the back of my head that says, "No, you're cool, dude. No, that's awesome." It's like maybe it's the rebelliousness in me, but yeah, I'm just like, no, this is what I'm gonna do, and that's it. No, you guys suck. Because I will actually then, because I never am looking at what other people are doing and judge them by the things that they choose to do. But if they're gonna do that to me, I will think of, okay, well, you like, you know, hiking in the woods on a hot summer day where there isn't even any body of water. You're literally walking a trail. Like you put a lot of money and effort into driving so far and do all this. I think that's dumb. But I don't tell you that because I have common decency to realize that other people are different than me. But you obviously don't because you're gonna, go and attack me just because I like doing things that I do and I'm passionate. Like, even if somebody does something that I don't necessarily think is interesting, I'll at least have the decency to realize, like, oh, you're passionate about that. That's awesome. You're actually enjoying life. And yeah, hiking is awesome. I love camping. I've been camping since I was like 5 years old. I love camping, but that's not the best metaphor for some people. Like, I don't know. There's some guys that maybe this is a better metaphor instead of hiking because I love getting out in nature. I love it. I love it. Any chance I could get to get out and do stump, do stuff like that, I will. But maybe some people making a whole Instagram account about their like Dodge Charger or something. like uh like on my commute from work, there's this Dodge Challenger that always drives down the road, and it's always just like, oh man, yeah. One time I was looking at the back of it, and it had this big Instagram icon with its Instagram handle, and I was just like, what is that? So I looked it up, and it was just pictures of all these cars, and he'd always have like, he'd choose a song to go along with the Instagram posts, and just like, it was just these rap songs that were just so horrible, and I'm just like, that's something I wouldn't want to do, but whatever, whatever floats your boat. But like I said, when people tell you, "Oh, that's stupid," it's like I don't ever sit there, so that's on you, not me. So that's why I always say when people like give negative feedback or whatever, it's always just like, well, that's what's going on. It's a reflection of you, whatever. Favorite JJ Pies flavor? Mmm. That is a tough one. Coconut cream pie, though, probably. Uh, yeah. Let me get back to y'all. There are so many. Ian, you sent me the recipe. Thank you so much. Much preach. Is there a correct way to make YouTube videos? No, there is absolutely not. It's like, is there a correct way to make a song? I've been making music since I was 14, and every single song I've ever made has been done. The process of making has been done differently every single time. So, yeah, there isn't. Uh, collecting. Collecting soda is something I would have never thought I was doing like 5 years ago. But the whole reason why I started collecting soda is because, hang on here. I'll get back to that. Zach, you collect soda or Pepsi stuff? That's awesome, dude. I think it's cool to collect old sodas. Well, I'm glad, man. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. I think it is too. Chris Dreyer, I hate cars. STP Studios, what's up, dude? Mopar, my Mopar blows hard. Quoting Beardo, he's a rapper. Not that big, but I like him. I never tried Pepsi Blue, never got the chance to drink it. Pepsi Blue is amazing. I see that Jones soda behind you. The flavor you has is awful. I tried it. Yeah, in a video I chugged it. This is what Ian's referring to. This is turkey and gravy soda. I chugged it, and usually with these flavors, they're very sugary, and the notes of it do kind of remind you of what you're actually drinking, but it was just more like the herbs and spices that you would put on the turkey more than the actual turkey. Right now, I'm drinking a can of Mountain Dew Frostbite. I know there are some people who don't like it, but I personally think it's refreshing. Yeah, Mountain Dew Frostbite is like, I recently tried that, and it's kind of like Liberty Chill now. It tastes like a plastic action figure, but I like it, you know. I'm going to make a Maximus the Fourth fan video of him making thumbnails in each video someday. That'd be awesome. I'd watch that right now. You reminded me of orange soda. Yeah, I could see that a little bit. Reminded you of orange soda. I don't remember Pepsi Blue. I think liked it, but I don't remember it. That's what Chris Dreyer says. Ian says, I think Voltage is probably the best. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of I could understand why Voltage is liked a lot, but for me personally, it wasn't my favorite, but it was decent. It wasn't a bad flavor by any stretch. Let's go back to the live chat. I got a 12 pack of Frostbite. I will drink it soon. Got to order a 12 pack from Maximus Pitch Black. Yeah, man, Code Red is one of the ones I hate. Too much cherry. Yeah, that, I remember when that came out, and that was always the choice of all the gamers. I'm a gamer too. The reason Pepsi Clear release fails because they left out the caffeine. Yeah, back to Code Red for a second. I'll get back to Crystal Pepsi because we all know, you and I, you also love Crystal Pepsi just as much as I do. And I could talk about Crystal Pepsi all day. Code Red was, yeah, the gamers drink. I remember, like, yeah, I game. I love gaming, but as a teenager growing up, I didn't come from the most wealthiest family. So, you're 14, you're 15, get a job. That's gonna cut into my video game time. No, I gotta be an adult. Ah! So, I still played video games and I still love it. But I didn't get the game as much as I remember a lot of my friends. They get online and all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, we don't have the internet yet to be able to do that. We did a few years later, but by then, if I were to get online, it would cut into my dad uh, eBay and trying to get, the baseball cards he's bidding on or whatever. I liked Crystal Pepsi when I was a kid. I drank it a lot, reminded me of birch beer, but don't trust me. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, the Crystal Pepsi collection very soon. Yeah, I want to see your collection, Ian. Yeah. I did the video of me unboxing this. And anytime I get something cool in the mail, I will always make an unboxing video because as someone like me, I would love to watch things get unboxed, because it almost feels like I'm there and it's mine. So I just kind of want to give the audience that same type of feeling. That's why I do them. Uh, you're so jealous that I own that. Yeah, I'm just in disbelief that I'm actually holding this because I'm like, oh, it's so crazy that I have this. But I want to do. The only thing you have is an autograph. That's awesome too. I didn't have that until I bought that off eBay. But yeah, soon I'm gonna do a full video of my entire Crystal Pepsi collection. I hope I'll have it out by next weekend, but don't quote me on that. That's just something I am working on in the future. Getting back to Crystal Pepsi though, I remember as a kid trying OG Crystal Pepsi in 1992, and the first time I tried it, it was out of a glass bottle, and sipping on it, uh, I was just like, whoa, this is supposed to be brown. This tastes like Pepsi. This is insanity. What is this? And I think ever since then, my love of like weird soda and all that kind of stuff and Pepsi kind of grew from there. But it stayed kind of hibernating for the longest time in my head until I was like in my mid 20s and I was thinking, what was weird? What was that weird thing that I drank that was clear? Because as a kid, you see these things and you don't really, they don't solidify in your brain. You remember them vaguely, but you're like, okay, what was that? That was wild. And then I Googled clear Pepsi, Crystal Pepsi. And I was like, that's awesome. I look on eBay. There's a few bottles available, but I didn't buy any until Christmas. And my dad bought me one of those bottles off eBay as a Christmas present. and it was I don't know. I ain't gonna grab it right there. It was that first one that started this whole collection. I had that one, and I don't know. I'm gonna make a video about how I got into collecting soda. It's a wild journey, but it all stemmed from just one bottle of Crystal Pepsi, and I loved Crystal Pepsi from the very start. The OG, there is a different vibe of the OG Crystal Pepsi compared to the re-releases that you see like this from 2015 on up, because this version contained caffeine and the OG version didn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's check up on the live chats, everybody. Everybody. Yeah, Orbits is cool. I I made I made a documentary about it a long time ago, and it still stands up pretty well. There isn't much besides that, like any new info. So I think I got it patted down with all the facts that I was able to scrub from the internet and actually um, get from Clearly Canadian. So, oh, cool. And with that being said about Orbits, I did find the new re-released version of Clearly Canadian drinks. I have 5 different flavors here. So I do have a question. Yeah, Ian? All right. I got you already. They did bring it back. But here's the deal. Clearly Canadian, the company that made Orbits, dissolved, went out of business. And recently it got a startup. No, I don't have any tiny chiclets. I did find them recently at a store, but I didn't buy any. I'll have to look into that though. But the original Clearly Canadian company died, dissolved. And then there was a startup company, I think in 2015, 2016, brought it back, bought the rights to the brand and all that stuff, the recipes, the original recipes and everything. And they started making it again. And that was a while ago, and I was always wanting to order them, but they were just too expensive at the time. But now I'm able to go to the store and find Clearly Canadian, which is awesome. So apparently they're growing quite a bit. So my question to you guys, I have 5 flavors of Clearly Canadian here. Should I try all of them in one video, or should I do them separately? I'll leave it up to you guys. Whatever you guys think, I will go by what you guys say. Separately? Okay, we got one for separately. No, I haven't tried New York Seltzer. I have seen that before, but yeah, that I've always seen them around. Seppi vids. All right. Depends on how long you're gonna gush over each one. Well, I probably or hate each one. I don't know. I've never tried Clearly Canadian before, um, but you think altogether, honestly, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm torn on because like every video, I don't want to go through the history of Clearly Canadian because I'll do that with every video, and it's like if you've already watched 4 of them, you watch the 5th one, you're like, all right, I already know the history. Bump, 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 skip forward, skip forward. Hey, Michael, glad to see you back. I've never tried Clearly Canadian. It was just something that was never on my radar. I tried Orbits once. That was the only Clearly Canadian thing I had. I tried from way back in the day. Hang on here. My laptop died out. Mountain Dew Ice is one of my favorite clear. Yeah, I never tried Mountain Dew Ice. Like I said, I never really got into reviewing sodas like hardcore until like 2021. I was a couple years into this channel to where, here I flirted. Like I tried the very first Voodoo in 2019 when it first came out. That was like the first soda review I did. But that one was awesome. I loved Voodoo 1. That was the best one. But OG Crystal Pepsi, hands down. Like, I still remember that. Tasted so much better than the re-releases. I remember trying the re-releases when it first came out in 2016 to nationwide, not the little sweepstakes thing that came out in December of 2015, but the national release summertime of 2016. I remember walking into a gas station, picking one up, being shocked. I have it in my hand, sat in my car, and back then, I wasn't a YouTuber or whatever, but I thought it was such a great thing that I recorded the video of me reviewing it, just kind of half-assed, and I was just shocked and saddened and realizing this isn't it. This isn't what I remember. And I lost that video. I wish I had that video, but I lost it. I think I was just trying to clear memory from my phone, and I accidentally hit that, and yeah. That's the one video, well, besides the new Coke review, that I lost. It's lost media, and it will never be found, but man, yeah, that I was disappointed. Yeah, it definitely does taste different because from what I gathered, it was just more fruity when it's not supposed to be fruity. You tried a test bottle of recently. It tastes like Lemonheads candy to you, Zach. Yeah, I saw a few test bottles being sold on Facebook Marketplace. I was tempted to buy some, but I'm just like, I'll just wait till it comes out. Yeah, whatever. But let me get back to you here. Live chat. Original Mr. Pibb tasted like a caramel candy bar. I remember Original Pibb. There's a listing of Mountain Dew Ice on eBay for $40. I'm tempted. Don't tempt me. I just may buy that baby. If it's canned, I will review it. I've gotten to that point to where I used to collect cans that were full, but they leak over time. So anything that I have canned now, I will crack open and drink. I used to think I could collect these cans and they would hold up, but no, they leak. They're just obnoxious to collect and hope that they stay sealed and don't leak and rot away. But no, I'm going to drink everything I do have canned. I have a few things here. I came across this when I was getting the last few shots for the Pepsi Edge video, but this is Pepsi True, still sealed. I will be reviewing this very soon. And what Pepsi True is, it's real cola taste and no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners either. So let's take a look at the ingredients here. This is carbonated water, sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavor, caffeine, purified stevia leaf extract. So that's what it is to kind of give it a, I guess, natural thing is the stevia. And this was back when stevia was really big. So it's got an expiration date of March of 2015. So be on the lookout of that. I don't know. I got a lot of other soda sitting there, and I'm like, one of these days, don't fall. Let's see here. Let me get back to the chat here. They said it would be a collaboration with a popular candy bar, referring to Voodoo 5 or Voodoo 6, sorry. A Pepsi Holiday Spice for $29 isn't bad. I do need a wine cellar. I definitely do. Mountain Dew Ice was the best lemon lime soda. It was so good, better than Starry. Yeah, Starry's kind of a letdown. I've had it one time after I reviewed it, and I was just like, eh. But no, even when I try to preserve canned sodas in my basement, which stays cool, it's awful, man. It's awful. Yeah. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I will be right back. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Little bathroom break. So if you do need to use the bathroom, go ahead, do it now, and be right back. All right. See you soon, guys. Okay, wow, surprising surprise. We still have 9 people watching. That's insane. Thank you guys for staying with me. Man, pro tip, do not drink a bunch of water before you get on a live stream. That's all I gotta say about that. Oh, I did find a listing of Mountain Dew Ice in a can for $50. Mm. I'm trying to refrain. I gotta refrain. I sunk some money in already in a new webcam. So yeah, because I'm planning for the future of this channel. I want to do more video game plays in my commentary with it. Not necessarily live stream playing, but I'm just gonna play old N64 games and stuff, and Beavis and Butthead on the Super Nintendo. I want to play that. I want to revisit that. I want to beat it because as a kid I was stupid and I couldn't beat it that well. But I want to do that and make beats on my drum machine tutorials. A lot of people ask on some of the few drum machine tutorials I have on the channel. They're like, "Hey, just show me how to make a beat from scratch." So I'm gonna do a whole setup. I'm gonna do Beavis and Butthead for Super Nintendo. That's for sure. Uh, excuse me. I'm going to do a series of playing. Obviously, the classic. There's a million videos out there on it. Super Mario 64. I'm gonna do like one video, probably be an hour-ish long, however long it takes to get through one world of getting all 6 power stars in it. That's what it'll be, and I'll be commentating on that. Just stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing a documentary on Mission Impossible for the Nintendo 64, so it's right there. And the development of this game is wild. I have a goal of beating some game eventually and taking video. You should, dude. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna do a documentary on the Mission Impossible game from N64, and I'm gonna title it Development Impossible, because the story about that game, how it came to be, and how it was kind of a letdown, is very, very wild. I never beat Ogre Battle 64. I want to beat that. Yeah, I've never played that game, but it was very cool. Pepsi Man. I never had a PlayStation growing up. I was a Nintendo kid. But yeah, the Mission Impossible game, it's one of those games a lot of people crap on, but I really love. And that's why I never can trust video game journalists, because they will always hate on a lot of games that I thought were pretty decent. And I'm not some noob that doesn't play any games and isn't aware, and I'll just play some trash and think it's good. But no, it's like sometimes I think some journalists are just so headstrong of wanting to, make mountains out of molehills when it comes to games. But regardless, let me check on the comments while I was gone during our little break. Let's see. Let me scoop up a little bit. You need a wine cellar, Dew Shine. I want to try Dew Shine. Something I never came across. Thoughts on new seasons of Beavis and Butthead? Standout episodes. From an OG listener of the podcast. Very rare, because a lot of people never listen to the podcast. I found more people on YouTube than the podcast. That's why I've kind of slowed down on that. And plus, time is it's gotten more limited. I still have a lot of playtime, obviously. Here I am. But yeah. So, my thoughts on the new Beavis and Butthead seasons, they're very different. I feel like they're neutered in a way. They're not as risky as the ones from the 90s, obviously. And they're not as, like, I could see, it's like they are shells of their previous things. And I wish it wasn't that way. But that is my real, raw, honest take on the new Beavis and Butthead is, like, yeah, the characters are there, the voices are there, but the kind of little details that made them who they were and their attitudes aren't there anymore. Like they're being more grotesque, and Butthead's actually being more mean than how he was in the 90s. And like the bit of like, I don't know, the innocence of them, which is what was great about Beavis and Butthead is, they were innocent in a way where everything they thought was right and everything, but now Butthead at least has just become more, I don't know, mean. He's so mean. But I mean, like all the music videos and stuff, like they used to really tear into some of these music videos, and there'd be some. They have a lot of references now that they remember that the OG Beavis and Butthead wouldn't know anything about or care about. And I'm not just saying because it's all new, but man, I never. Yeah. I would probably give the new seasons of Beavis and Butthead a 5 out of 10 just because, oh, it's cool Beavis and Butthead is getting relevant again. I don't think they're really getting that like big. I mean, they're there, but I don't think they're really taking off like they did in the 90s. But I'm glad they're still alive and kicking, but it'll be nothing like the original series for sure. So, and Ian, you bought that Jones holiday pack. I have a pack of that myself too, still sealed. I don't know if I will ever open that up because that has memories from me. I remember my brother got that for Christmas, I think. My younger brother. And my grandma drank the Brussels sprouts one, and she actually liked it. She was chugging on that thing. It was kind of wild seeing that, but yeah, I don't know. They're very cheap though. I'm surprised that they're cheap because you would think, oh man, something like that wild, that limited edition thing. But no, you could find them pretty easily. Let me get back to the chat here. Live chat, blah, blah, blah. I had a Win 95 Mr. Pibb game. That was a clone of Doom. I got it from a mail-in free offer off the back of a box cereal. Yeah, I remember I had a game that was Mars Attacks themed, and it would come with the action figure. Like it was on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. And I remember putting that in my computer, and the computer was so slow that the action that you saw was so grainy and just delayed that it was unplayable. But somehow I wound up learning how to play it and getting aligned with how the delay was to actually play it pretty good. So I mean, that was like playing a game on like extremely hard difficulty just because it wasn't running right. But yeah, man, there's something about that. Something about that, bro. The beauty of a crappy 90s video game. Mr. Pibb video game though. I never heard of that. I'll have to look into that. I noticed myself from buying more orbits that they are picking up speed and price. Man, I remember. Yeah. Well, yeah, we had a Windows Me too. Yeah. Yeah, Windows Me. That was the first family computer. It sat in the dining room. And yeah. Um, I remember Orbits back in the day. I bought a lot, and I still have a lot. I sent one to Maximus, and I drank one. But everything else that I bought, I still have, and I have quite a bit. But I remember I could pick some up for $7.99 and $8 shipping, whatever. So they were very cheap when I started buying them up. But yeah, right now it's yeah, you got to sink like $50 in to get a bottle now. It's like maybe I had a part in that with making all the videos I've made on them. I didn't want to do that. I kind of screwed myself on that. Stop making videos, Blake. Then you could hey, it's I love doing that stuff. I love looking into it cuz hang on here. Hang on. We should do a trade sometime. Might have something in my collection you don't. Yeah, I'm always up for trading stuff. I'm currently talking to a guy on Instagram about, and he's in Australia. He's gonna send me some stuff that I can't find here. So, and I bought the limited edition July 4th Mountain Dews, the red, white, and blue. Haven't been able to find the Star Spangled Splash anymore, but I still found the Freedom Fusion and the Liberty Chill, which I wanted to mail to him. But yeah, he's gonna be sending me some stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. Whew. It is hot up in this room. I don't want to drink anything because I don't want to take another bathroom break, but I may have to. Last video game you went back to after not playing for a couple of years. Um, what was that? Uh, I started playing. I started playing the one of the crappiest games on GameCube, but I like it to a certain extent because it does have a little bit of a charm to it. Is Universal Studios Theme Park, because I'm also doing a video on that too. So I was like kind of recording gameplay of that. So um, getting back to it, I forgot everything about playing that game because how you navigate, it's on a fixed camera. And it's kind of like if you ever played the OG Resident Evil games, it's just a fixed camera and your character can keep running and running and get smaller. The camera won't follow the character. You just kind of have to guess where the next shot is when your character walks off screen, and then the next fixed camera angle will pick it up. It's set up like that. And trying to navigate in that park on a very crappily developed game is near impossible when you're trying to find another ride to go to in this game. But I remember playing it a long time ago, and I was like, I had it down, but everything was gone now. But yeah, that any good game that I've picked up and played recently, I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again, but I still haven't gotten past the snow part yet. But man, I love that game. I love that game so much. There, because I remember like back in its heyday, after I completed the game, I would go back to it as John Marston, and then I would just like go to Valentine or whatever, the city, and I would go into the saloon and just play poker. Just sit there in the saloon and play poker all day, just enjoying myself, or play dominoes at that train station. That was awesome too. And then if I just want to go full on scorched earth, I get up and just annihilate everybody. And, hijack a train. So that was pretty cool. But now we're getting into an hour in, took an hour in. We're going to get into my new Coke revelation. So I went to this soda museum. It was in St. Charles, Missouri. And it was from a private collector, and he just had all this stuff, and he opened up this museum. This dude has stuff from pre-Coca-Cola that John Pemberton, the guy that created Coca-Cola, he had other things before Coca-Cola, like drink elixirs and stuff. And he had this stuff called French wine coca, and it had alcohol in it. And that's what he used to sell before Coca-Cola. And then I'm fuzzy on the facts, but I will do a documentary on Coca-Cola. But if you asked me 4 years ago, I would know exactly. But at some point, alcohol there was a prohibition on alcohol, and he still wanted to sell his French wine coca, so he came up with a recipe without the coca or without the alcohol, and that's how Coca-Cola came to be in the late 1800s, 1890s. Anyways, this museum has a lot of those pre-Coca-Cola bottles that was just so cool because I never seen them in real life. I always just seen them on like online when you Google here and there. But it was really cool to see up close and personal, and just like, oh, anybody that is aware of all that stuff would be astonished. So, it wasn't surprising to see a lot of the other like new Coke things that they had. Uh, yeah, caffeine replaced the alcohol. Exactly. And, then they said, oh, it cured headaches and all this other stuff. And I get maybe the, 1910 Coca-Cola might have been, but yeah. So I'm at this soda museum, and I look off to my right, and there's this like little shop that they kind of just set up. There's a few shelves of just random bottles and cans, and I look at that, I'm like, is that part of the museum or what? So I go over to this area where I see all these random bottles and cans, and I see like price tags on them. And there's some stuff that I seen that I have seen on eBay listed for a lot more money than what they're selling. And I was like, I felt like I came across a gold mine, because I'm like, this is awesome stuff that this museum is selling. I guess it's just overflow of stuff they can't display or whatever. So back in the day, at some point, Coca-Cola, with the environment stuff and all that, I need to read up on it. They came out with plastic cans, and this is one of them. So I picked this up and I asked the dude, which was the museum owner's son, and I was like, can I ask you a question about this? And he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, okay, why is this can, it just says Coke on it, and it has this band like it was the new Coke can right there with that silver band. And there was another plastic Coke can that said Coca-Cola Classic on it. I was like, what's the difference here? And he said, oh, well, what you're holding right here is actually a can of new Coke. It just doesn't say new Coke on it. And I was like, what? New Coke was gone in 85 days or whatever it was in 1985. They discontinued it. Whoa, kind of blew my mind. But no, apparently New Coke lived on for a lot longer. They just took the label off of it being New Coke. So if you were in the know and you were on the hunt for New Coke and you still like that flavor even after they quote unquote discontinued it, how you could tell that this was New Coke is the bands on here. So you see the white band and the silver band, that would let you know it was New Coke. Now, if all you saw was the white band, not and the silver band was omitted from the label, that would be original Coca-Cola Classic. And it went on for quite a while. So, this is a can of New Coke, even though it doesn't really say. It just says right there, recyclable plastic can, but it has the band. Just like how New Coke right here has the same silver and white band. And then after a while, after they stopped doing the Coke with the white and silver band to signify that it was New Coke, they put out Coca-Cola 2. Javier, I'm getting to that right now. They put out Coke 2, and it's just New Coke. And this one lasted, I want to say, all the way up almost till 1999, the late 90s, and then it was discontinued. But yeah, Coke 2 was just New Coke, and they just did that. And as you see, yeah, it's not silver anymore, but there are the two bands. This one is just blue now. And yeah, this dude, 20, 21 years old, having all this knowledge from his father collecting soda, blew my mind. And I'm just sitting there like, and I thought I knew a lot, but holy hell. Oh my God, Julian. But man, that blew my mind. So I'm doing a documentary on Coca-Cola, and I was going to use the audio. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Like that's exact. What? I want Coca-Cola Classic. What the hell? I want to write myself a letter, snail mail, and yeah. But I was going to use the audio that I did the history of Coca-Cola on the podcast channel a long time ago. I think I did the history of Coca-Cola on in 2020. I was going to use the audio with that, but listening back to that, there is so much stuff left out. I'm going to have to rewrite the script to include all this stuff I've recently learned, and that's the beauty of just like learning and just writing about these companies, because there's always some weird little detail that you could just dig up and find somewhere. And that's I combed, like with the McDonald's documentary, I combed like a fine tooth thing, and I came across so much stuff. I took my time with that one, and I double check, triple check that, and that one's good. But with Coca-Cola, there was a lot of stuff that was missing, and I was thinking, all right, I was hoping to have it out this summer, but the Coca-Cola one is definitely going to be very juicy, very meaty. I have to rewrite that, include all this stuff, write up the narrative and all that, but it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be awesome. I want to visit the Coca-Cola Museum or Coca-Cola World in Atlanta, Georgia, where Coca-Cola was born, and learn a lot more. I need to get video footage, some photos, all that kind of stuff, and include that in the documentary too. You hear that crackle? I'm hitting puberty, guys. So, what was the last album you listened to in its entirety? Tomb of the Mutilated. Never heard of Tomb of the Mutilated. Let me look that up. Tomb of the Mutilated. Cannibal Corpse. I've listened to a little bit of Cannibal. Um, let's see. What was the last thing I listened to? Last album I listened to in its entirety. Give me a second, because I listened to a lot. I think I listened to. No, I listened to Titanic Sinclair's Texas Dream, and he used to be the producer for Poppy. If you know who Poppy is, she's a chick singer or whatever. But he wrote like all the music and stuff like back in the day, and there was some stuff that went down. They broke up, and now he's just making solo music. But he always was putting out albums, but it was never as big as Poppy's stuff. But it's kind of like new country, but it's made by a guy that made very weird electronic music. So, yeah. Have you ever had any Poppy soda? No, and I don't think I will, just because it's not. I don't see it as real soda. I see it as like some type of weird offshoot of it trying to be like kombucha soda or something. Like, yeah, I don't know. I see it. I got excited for a second because I'm like, oh, a new thing. But I was like, oh, there's a twist with this. It's not just soda. There's an angle on it. But yeah, I need to check out Cannibal Corpse more. Yeah, but usually my go-to if I'm getting in the car and I need to put some music on and just really rock out, I'll put on some Rammstein. I'll listen to, yeah, yeah, mostly Rammstein. But anyways, we are going to get into something else that is crazy. Oh, I want to show you one more thing I found at the Soda Museum. I found an old Pepsi can from the 60s in really great shape for a really great price. So I haven't had one of these old ones before. Have I tried Surge Soda before? Yes, I have. I remember trying it out of a soda fountain at the Chuck E. Cheese in 1997, and it was awesome. And yeah, I mean, we got it in cans and stuff too, but I remember that vividly, having Surge out of the soda fountain at Chuck E. Cheese. 70s funk, that's always good. When I'm in a squirrely mood, I will listen to the first Mr. Bungle album in its entirety. Uh, and then after I get tired of hearing that 4 or 5 times in a row, I will switch to listening to Faith No More's Real Thing album. And that album, I kind of hit and miss. I really don't like listening to cover songs. And there's a cover song of War Pigs on there. And I love Ozzy. I love Black Sabbath. But I want to listen to something original by the band more than anything else. My battery's saying. You saw Mr. Bungle a few months ago. I'm glad they don't sound like their first album. Yeah, their latest one, the Easter Bunny, Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny, was from their first demo in '86. I have all their demo stuff, and I used to listen to that even though the quality was absolute hell. I'm glad they redid that album or that demo because it really does rock. I remember listening to that when I was on a road trip and I was like half like I would put that on, that'd perk me right up. It'd be like, yeah, yeah. So I'm sure they played a lot of stuff from that album. Um, yeah, the work. I mean, listen, I love Faith No More, and I love that, but I always just tend to skip that one. Now, you definitely are going to get your brain rewired if you listen to Disco Volante, Mr. Bungle's second like professional studio album. Like I remember when I bought that album expecting a lot more stuff from the first album and just feeling absolutely just crushed, and I'm like, what did I just buy? You know, I spent $15 on this CD that sucks. But I was just like, I'm gonna give it a chance. And the more you listen to it, the more it's a very weird acquired taste. Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante isn't for everybody. It's kind of like Moxie Soda. It's the Moxie Soda of albums. Yeah, that's the one with the fish hook, or the lady with the eye holding up that fish skeleton thing. It's very avant-garde music, but once you get into it, there's things that you crave that you can't find anywhere else musically. That if you are just in a weird, funky mood, listen to that. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. Yeah, it's the secret song. I actually have a few things from that album. Like if you look in the liner notes of that album, it says you're invited to a private thing. Send $2 to this address. Now, back then, I was a kid and I wasn't able to do that. But I found some of those stickers that if you mailed in the $2, they would send to you. I found some of those stickers, and someone was selling them on eBay, and I have those stickers, which I'm like, oh, that's cool. I have, but anyways, we got to move on. My battery is saying I have like 20% left, so man, I could talk about Mr. Bungle and music all day. I love music, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, one more thing before we get into anything else, though. Music, AI music in particular. I think it was getting big for a second, and I think it's dying down again because, like, okay, you can only do so much with AI music, and it's mostly just meme stuff. And people are saying, "Oh, this is the future of music." I don't really think so. I don't. But yeah, that's my little take on AI music. Is yeah, it's funny. It's cool to have someone that sounds like Kurt Cobain sing "Never Gonna Give You Up" or whatever. But besides that, it's a novelty thing. But anyways, fruit stripe gum. I have plans for this very soon. And yeah, it isn't, Michael. Yeah, right. Same. I found this. This was discontinued earlier this year. I found a box of it on eBay for like 20 bucks. And next week, I'm going to be cracking this open, and I'm going to be trying fruit stripe gum for the first time in probably 20 years. And I will be doing a small documentary, The History of Fruit Stripe Gum. There isn't too much to it, so it'll be probably a 6 to 10 minute long video. But I'm very excited to dig into all the history. If you search on Google, you will come across a few things about variations of fruit stripe gum. There's this version. There's also a bubblegum version that has a few different flavors in it, or a lot, all different flavors. But also there is a rumor that there was a chocolate version of fruit stripe gum, which was Choco Stripe gum. And it was only available in the 70s. But I didn't find any single thing about this. So I reached out to a buddy of mine that follows me on Instagram, and his brother's actually the guy that is the candy collector, collectingcandy.com, and he has some he if there's anybody you want to ask about candy history, you ask him. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I came across this thing, Choco Stripe gum. Did it even exist? And he's like, oh, I'll ask my brother. He came back to me and he said, my sources say that there is no existence, or he didn't know, but that doesn't mean it didn't exist. Now, it might have existed in the lab, but was never officially released. But you know, that's a nice little thing I will include in the documentary. Talk about that. A little sneak peek into the lore of fruit stripe gum. Yeah. But so I'm gonna try and review all 5 flavors of fruit stripe gum. That'll be one video. Another video, I'm going to test to see how long does a stick of fruit stripe gum exactly last. So I'll have a stopwatch ready, and just to see, because we all know the meme, 5 seconds and it's done, or whatever it is. But I'm guessing it'll be about 20 seconds. So that's my guess. But we will see. So that's going to be fun to do next week. So that's going to be my plans. And the next thing I am going to do is something Pepsi oriented. I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, and now I have the chance to do it. And it's not going to be just some review. It's going to be like not necessarily a documentary thing, but close to it, like an iceberg video. If you're aware of the iceberg videos, and you know, starting from the top, and then you get more and more into the obscure. So that's my next big Pepsi video. That's not a review, and I'll be starting work on that. Other channel news. I'm going to be playing some video games, so that's going to be a new thing I'm very excited about. I know this isn't exactly a gaming channel, but I cover video games, and I'm not going to oversaturate it with playing video games or anything, but occasionally I'm going to do that, put that into the thing, and I'll be talking over it, you know, and just commentating, whatever. So, be doing that. And I have which videos were more fun to make, your dog videos or cat videos? Well, the dog videos, I'm gonna do what I want. Thanks, Chris. I mean, yeah, it is my channel, and I will. Uh, that's one thing uh, I've seen some people when they start out with a channel, they will ask people for um, ideas and stuff, and it's like, you made the channel. Before you make a channel, you should have some stuff preloaded, ready to go. I don't understand. Why are you looking for people that are expecting something from you? Like, I don't know. Like, I ask the occasional question, but I already know it's like, it's a predetermined thing I already planned out. And it's like, we can go this way or that way. What do you think, boys? What do you think, boys? But getting back to the dog and cat videos, cats are very spontaneous. You never know what they're going to do. Dogs, they're more docile, and especially with the Chihuahuas, you just try to set them there, and it's like, all right, either the taco or the cheeseburger. What are you going to try? And they just look at you like, what should I do, Dad? What should I do? I don't know. But the cat, it's just like, yeah, all right, yeah. But yeah, they're so different, but it's fun either way. It's like choosing if I like dogs or cats more. I grew up with both of them, so yeah. Let's see. Let's check in. Chris Dreyer. Back when I started a YouTube channel, it was just funny to post anything up. It wasn't supposed to be a business. Yeah, that's how I started. I still don't see this as a business, but I want to somewhat be professional here, but I don't want it to be like, oh, some company does this, because it's obviously just me. But you know, it's cool to have that freedom to do what you want and not be confined to one thing. And you know, oh man, it's gonna totally ruin the algorithm if I put up a video about farting instead of the history of Kmart instead. I can't put that video up of some farts. I can't. No, no. No. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put up something serious. I'll put out something wacky. Like, what did I put up recently that was just, it was very vulgar. I forgot what it even was. Oh, people on social media too. It was just an audio track that I did that I thought was really funny. And I know a lot of people would have thought it was funny. Not everybody, but yeah. So So I still do what I want even after all these years. Just yeah. So anyways, we are towards the end. I thank you guys. Man, we've been going on for 81 minutes now. It's insane. And I want to bring the goods. I definitely want to bring the goods. So, we are going to get into fast food new things, updates. What am I trying to say? Fast food stuff that's coming out soon. So, this is something that I saw that's coming out in Australia. It's the new KFC fried cookie dough. So they're like little balls with cookie dough inside. They look like hush puppies, but they have cookie dough on the inside. This chocolatey cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough. It's insane. So anybody that lives in Australia, I pick those up. Let me know what you think about those. Here's something that McDonald's is doing that I'm not too excited about. It's not a food item, but it's just like retro glasses, like actual glasses that have designs of stuff over the years, say 1996 with the teeny Beanie Babies or whatever it was. They have a thing that has artwork on it, um, with that and all that. And it's like there's so many glasses to collect. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to take part in that. As much as I love McDonald's and a lot of stuff they do, I'm like, whatever. Now, Cracker Barrel, here's the fall menu, all right? Hold on to your butts. They got the fried apple French toast bake, all right? Not that big of a fan of apples, but I like apples. Don't get me wrong. I'm hit or miss with apples. They got the Southern apple cobbler, Granny Smith apple tea, a lot of apple stuff. The hash brown casserole shepherd's pie, which I don't know if I've ever had shepherd's pie. But the way it looks on here, it's on a little skillet. It looks really good. They got Granny Smith mimosa, apple mimosa, and French toast lattes. You could either get it iced or hot. So, I mean, pretty, I don't know. It's like mid. I give it a 6 out of 10 with the releases. Now they got the Fanta. Apples can be awesome. There are so many varieties, but you are not exposed to them all. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot. I always like the Golden Delicious. Those are my favorite. Uh, I'm not big on like just regular old red apples. I like the soft ones with the soft skin. Um, Here is Beetlejuice, Fanta Beetlejuice flavor. They have haunted apple, they have pineapple, and they have what is this one here? Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. But anyways, they got this new haunted apple flavor looks really good. I want to get into Airheads, the candy Airheads. Yeah, that's real, dude. Uh, Chris, real stuff. Now Warheads, they're known for the very sour candy. There's a new mystery flavor that's going to be dropping, and yeah, I'm kind of behind on my Warheads lore, but I think I do want to try that one out. Hopefully, it's something that's very good, not something trash. And oh, this is kind of funny. You know the whole Tumblr thing, the Stanley Tumbler fad that was cool for like a second. Now it's like kind of faded away, like the Hawk Tuah girl. Thank God. Um, Chick-fil-A has thrown their hat in the ring, and they have a tumbler that looks exactly like a styrofoam cup that has the Chick-fil-A logo on it and all that. So that's available now. They have a S'mores McFlurry at McDonald's. That's available for a limited time. But that is, I think, in Canada only. So for you Canadians, I am jealous. Now at Taco Bell, they have new churro chiller shakes. They have sweet vanilla, they have Mexican chocolate, wild strawberry, and dulce de leche flavored cinnamon, sugar, whatever, you know. And Oreos coming out with zero sugar Oreos. They may be good, I don't know. But there's one thing that I saw recently. Let me look here. Stuff that's coming out for 2025. There's going to be a new Pepsi flavor. I want to see if I could find it here for you guys. No, it's not posted yet. I haven't seen it. Oh, there's going to be a Cap'n Crunch cereal shake at A&W. That's a place I do need to hit up. I've never reviewed anything from A&W, but there is one that recently opened down the road. Oh, this is the biggest one. This is the one we all should be excited about. So, Taco Bell is releasing September 3rd only on the app. You could get Baja Blast Sherbert. It's going to be awesome. And then they also have Baja Blast Pie. That's going to be dropping too at some point. It'll be released. And let me see if I could find the time. There's not an exact release date for the Baja Blast Pie, but it's kind of rumored to be released somewhere out at the end of November. But man, I am so excited because I'm looking at a picture of it now, and it looks like a key lime pie. It's just very, very green, just solid green. It looks really good. Let's see here. Anything else that is of excitement? Panera's been dropping some bangers lately with their baked items. Uh, I'm not really going to describe anything, but like I've just been seeing recently, they've been trying to up their game because Crumble Cookie is always coming out with new stuff almost weekly with different things, and it's really awesome. But I think Panera feels like they're going to get in the game, and here I'm seeing Panera's Cinna Scramble, and it's a cinnamon roll croissant with an egg, a peppered scrambled egg, and cheese, topped with a cinnamon roll. So let's see here. The sausage Cinna Scramble is one of the best fast food things. Released in June, it's already out. You can enjoy a warm cinnamon roll filled with cheese, scrambled egg, and savory sausage. Um, if you haven't got the chance to try the saucy nuggets from Wendy's, you definitely are missing out. I will say that. They look nasty because you get like, you buy an order of four of them, you get this box, and you just see these four chicken nuggets in there just kind of tossed in there, just flying all over the place, and there's just sauce everywhere. Disregard the visual and actually just dig in, and they are actually awesome. I will recommend the ghost pepper ones because if you are looking for something hot, those actually kick. And I've had the ghost pepper boneless nuggets or boneless wings from Popeyes, and yeah, they're a little hot, but the ones from Wendy's, they kick. So those are good. Um, Parmesan garlic was good too. Yeah, a lot of them were good. I think we got three different flavors and we tried them out. They're decent. So I'd recommend those. I should have did a review on them, but we were just hungry at the time. Sometimes some new things I try, I'm like, do I want to put the camera on me and go through the whole thing? No, I'm just gonna eat these and get on with my life. Um, yeah, same thing with Dairy Queen. They got the chicken strip basket. They're tossing their chicken fingers in with some garlic parm sauce. Haven't tried those yet. I know the chicken strip basket alone is good, but I think yeah, with the parm garlic sauce, it'd be a whole lot better. Let's see here. Anything else is popping out at me that I think is worth it? Krispy Kreme's Biscoff donuts. It's got a little bit of everything. Name a better duo than Sweet Biscoff cookies and Krispy Kreme donut. You probably can't. The Biscoff donut is a new fast food item that comes in three delicious variations. Choose from the Biscoff cookie butter cheesecake, the chocolate iced donut with Biscoff cookie crunch, and a classic iced donut with indulgent Biscoff icing. That one would be amazing. Uh, yeah, besides that, there is Not a lot of other things. The one cool thing that I know is there's going to be a new Pepsi flavor coming out in 2025, and it's very in the early stages, but that's something to look forward to. And then also there were rumors of a Coca-Cola Creations flavor that had Oreo in it, like cookies and cream Coke. It's going to be only a zero sugar flavor, and it's just speculation, but the rumor mill has been going on more and more with it leaning to actually being a real thing, and that's something that is just gonna really turn some heads, and that'll be later on this year. So that is something that's gonna be really awesome to check out. I know some people have been commenting. Now I will get back to the comments for a little Q&A. And let's see. I'm going to try the haunted apple. Michael says that. Yeah, I'm going to too. Uh, yeah, keep eyes peeled on that Fanta. Where do you find all this information on new releases? The Flawless Dusk asks. I just do my Googling. Sometimes there's some pages that are just crap, they're just like blogs or whatever, but you dig a little bit, you'll find some stuff. It's, yeah, you'll find it. Let's see here. What's better, McDonald's or Burger King? Um, McDonald's or Burger King? It's like choosing what's better, a dog or a cat. They have their pros and cons with each one. But if I had to choose, like the good thing about Burger King is they have that grilled taste that you can't get from McDonald's at all. Like you get the Whopper, all right. And I think Burger King is more easy on your wallet than McDonald's these days, which is sad. But, they always have those two for $4, $5 deals, whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go for Burger King if you want that Whopper, that char grilled Whopper. But McDonald's is a classic. You're going in there knowing exactly what you're going to get, and it's going to taste exactly how you remember it. And that's that. And yeah, there's nothing better than a triple cheeseburger from McDonald's. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Burger King, you get a lot more bang for your buck, but yeah, especially me living in the Midwest, there's a lot of things I always miss out on when it comes to limited edition stuff because, like how I've come to learn, everything new hits either on the East Coast or West Coast or both coasts at the same time, and then slowly 3 weeks, a month later, it finally starts hitting around here, and I'm able to find it. Like Pepsi Peach. Pepsi Peach was everywhere, and everybody was reviewing it before I could even find it in stores like a month later. It was ridiculous trying to find it. I would walk into stores and be like, hey, you guys got any Pepsi Peach? And they look at you like, whoa, Pepsi Peach? You live in Nebraska? Oh, man, I'm sorry. Great people from Nebraska. I know one person that came from Nebraska, and she's a sweetheart. So, I mean, yeah, it does. I'm sure that blows, man, when you're trying to find stuff like that. You tried the Fiery Sprite strawberry? Yeah, that's one thing I've seen that I do want to try. How was that? Was it any good? It was probably hot, kind of like the flaming hot Mountain Dew. That's all I could think of. Anyways, before my phone dies, all right, that's what I'm live streaming from. Yep, there we go. 10%. You like it? Okay, cool. Let me scroll up here. Okay, all caught up on things. Before my phone dies, pun intended, we are going to get into fun facts about death. Now, this just came to me because I was watching TV and there was just a little factoid someone mentioned. Oh yeah, when you die, you have 7 minutes before your brain shuts off completely, and blah blah blah. BK was out of the stuff of the spicy burger. Yeah, with those limited releases, there's always You go there wanting to try everything, but they'll only have three things. Krispy Kreme is relentlessly horrible with that when they have limited edition stuff. You'll go in there and, like, I'm all set for the review. I did all my research, got the information typed down on a Google Doc. Go to Krispy Kreme to get the product. Oh, I'm sorry, we're out. And it's like, oh, all that time wasted. Had the lights set up, ready to go. Yeah, I feel the pain. Anyways, fun facts about death. 7 minutes of what before death? You're apparently, don't quote me on this, but apparently on this channel they said all the good memories in your life uh, pass before your eyes, before your brain shuts down or whatever. It takes 7 minutes after, like, your body stops or whatever. Your brain is still, like, processing and anything. But anyways, here we go. You can be declared dead in some states but considered alive in others. That's mainly because two states, New York and New Jersey, allow families to reject the concept of brain death if it goes against their religious beliefs. Fun fact number 2. Eyes reveal one of the first signs of death. One of the first visible indicators of death is when the eyes cloud over, as fluid and oxygen stop flowing to the corneas. That can happen within 10 minutes after death if the eyes were open. Okay. Fun fact number 3. About 300 people in the U.S. are cryogenically frozen. Let's just say that. There are 300 people I can't talk. Cryogenically frozen in the U.S. 300. Well, I know Austin Powers is one of them. Vanilla Ice. So today there are about 300 bodies frozen in liquid nitrogen in America. In the hope that science will one day be able to bring them back to life. Contrary to popular belief, Walt Disney is not one of them. Yeah, I always heard the thing that, oh, don't be sorry to me. That's just what I found on here. But, this is from Mental Floss. This is what I'm getting this from. But I always heard the rumor that Walt Disney's head was frozen, but I don't know. Number 4, fingernails don't continue to grow after death. Yes, I know the reason because of this. I don't even need to talk about this. But it's actually, your nails are actually deeper than what you see there. And when you die, your skin just kind of shrivels up and it makes your nails look like they grown, but it's actually just your whole body just kind of retracting, so to speak. Let's see. Number 7. We'll skip to 7. Dead bodies can become covered in what looks like soap. Technically known as addopercere, and sometimes also called grave wax, it's a byproduct of decomposition that happens as the fat in a body decays under wet, anaerobic, lacking in oxygen conditions. Philadelphia's Mutter Museum has an Edisosphere-covered corpse on display, while the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. keeps its soap man out of public view. I did not know that. Wow. I did not know that. There are more than 200 frozen corpses on Mount Everest. Climbers and Sherpa guides who perish on Mount Everest are customarily left where they fall because transporting a body more than 20,000 feet down the treacherous terrain would put the rescuers themselves in danger. Similarly, many explorers who died in Antarctica during the heroic age were also left there. Europe's bog bodies have been preserved for centuries. The low temperature, low oxygen, highly acidic environmental conditions of European peat bogs can preserve bodies with remarkable detail for centuries and even millennia. One of the most famous examples of these bog bodies is the Iron Age Tollund man, Tollund man in Denmark, When his body was discovered in 1950, it looked so fresh his discoverers thought they found a recent murder victim. Wow. Scientists are studying the necrobiome. The necrobiome comprises all the bacteria and fungi in a corpse. Scientists are hoping to figure out whether changes in the microbes alone can provide clues to the time of death. The concept is known as microbial clock. Uh, Here's a weird one. Drinking executed people's blood was once thought to be good for you. People once believed that the blood of freshly executed was a health tonic and would pay executioners a few coins to drink it warm from the gallows. Human nature is a wild thing, man. Uh, let's see. Other fun facts. Embalming is not always necessary. Embalming is rarely required by law, except in certain situations where the bodies leave state borders. And my thoughts on that is I'm not getting embalmed. I'll put that somewhere. But yeah, well, here it is. It's recorded. That's for sure. For those of you later on in the future, I do not want to be embalmed. No. Bury me as is. The person produces 3 to 9 pounds of cremains. The average human body produces between 3 and 9 pounds of cremated remains after being burned. The cremation chamber, known as a retort, can get hot as 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Victorians took photos of the dead. The Victorians often took photos of dead loved ones as part of their grieving process. These post-mortem photographs became keepsakes that were displayed in homes, sent to friends and relatives, and worn inside lockets. I remember seeing, I came across this fact before, and I've seen the photos, and they're very, very odd, very weird. I'm not going to say it's wrong, because that's just how people did things, but it definitely isn't normal by today's society. That's for sure. Let's see. One pope had another pope exhumed for questioning. In 1897, Pope Stephen VI had the corpse of a previous pope, Formosus, exhumed, perched on a throne, and questioned about his crimes, which were mostly about being on the wrong side of political struggle. The event is known as the Cadaver Synod. That's wild. Let's see here. Abraham Lincoln popularized embalming. The embalming of Abraham Lincoln for the journey from Washington, D.C. to Springfield, Illinois is widely credited with encouraging everyday acceptance of the practice. Dance parties can be deadly. You are more likely to be killed at a dance party than while skydiving. Dang, okay. Cheated death quite a bit. Mummies were once used as paint. Between the 16th and the early 20th centuries, artists used ground-up mummies as paint pigment. It was also thought to be a potent medicine. Being buried 6 feet under started with the Great Plague. The idea that graves need to be 6 feet deep comes from the 1665 plague outbreak in England, when the mayor of London decreed that the burial depth to limit the spread of disease. Let's see. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh, okay. So this is something I seen. It's pretty cool. Safety coffins were meant to protect people from being buried alive. In the 19th century, several inventors came up with safety coffins, equipped with bells, flags, and air tubes, and designed to help people avoid being buried alive. So this was initially, if you were in a coffin and people, back then medical practices weren't advanced as they were today, and they may mistake someone that was in a deep coma or just, I don't know, whatever, they were still alive, and they were buried after a funeral, and they woke up, you know, they'd be in the safety coffin, which I don't know, it kind of doesn't make sense. So we don't know if this guy's dead or not, but we'll bury him and just put this bell here. But regardless, you wake up in this coffin, and you'll have this string that you'll pull on, and the string will go all the way up to the outside, the air above, and the bell would be ringing. So, back then you'd be in these graveyards or whatever, and there'd be these bells next to tombstones. And if one of them starts ringing insanely, you'll realize, oh, someone in that ground needs to be dug up. So, yeah. Victorian men were expected to mourn less than Victorian women. Although the etiquette guides for Victorian mourning varied widely, widows mourned for a total of 2.5 years, while widowers mourned for 3 months. And that looks like about it. Some good stuff there. A little history lesson, a little lesson about humanity, even today and even back then. And before I go, I just want to check up with the live chat and talk to everybody here. But yeah, let's see here. There are vampires out here, the Flawless Dusk. And yeah, it's insanity. What's your favorite flavored Pepsi or like seasonal Pepsi ever released? Favorite one is let's see here. The OG Crystal Pepsi. There was nothing else like it. And even with the re-releases, there still isn't anything else like it. And I miss it dearly. And even, yeah, like I said, the re-releases don't touch the original, and that's it. Yeah, it did taste different because it didn't have caffeine in it like the re-releases did. And the thing with caffeine is when you put caffeine into a cola or a soda, it changes up the flavoring quite a bit. It enhances the flavoring, either in a good way or a bad way. Like sometimes it's too much. So the caffeine just isn't there to give you energy. It really does change the whole taste of the soda itself too. So yeah. More recently though, my favorite is Pepsi Peach. That was really good. Pepsi Blue is my most favorite though. Mr. Ian says Pepsi Blue is awesome. Nothing uh, you could say about that. Pepsi Holiday Spice. I remember that came out, and I drank it with my dad in the car. We found it at Target back in the day when it first came out, and I was like, okay, this is what it's all about. This is the good life. That's what I thought. This is the good life. And it definitely was. Mid 2000s, couldn't go wrong. Yeah, pineapple was good too. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd like to be Frozen. Then I'd be DJ Glowing Ice on ice. Doesn't Cheerwine have a holiday spice? I've never actually tried Cheerwine. I saw it a lot in South Carolina when I was down there this past, couple months. But yeah, I got a bottle. I'm gonna review that whenever I can. But I find it crazy the old bottles of holiday spice you have are ones you got yourself when it was out. No, actually, everything that came out back then I drank, so I had to find them on eBay. So no, I wish I did actually have the ones I did find back then. But yeah. Anyways, guys, my phone is about to die. This was a very, very great live stream. I had fun. I hope you had fun. And thank you for subscribing and liking the stuff, watching the stuff, checking in. I don't expect you to watch every single video I do because I do put out a lot, so I don't expect that. But thank you guys for checking in and being around to have some fun with me. Until then, I do plan on putting out some video game playthroughs in the next couple weeks once that webcam comes in, and yeah, it should be fun. So, all right, thank you everyone. I'm going to brush my teeth, pass out, and Chris, the flawless dusk, Ian, thank you all. Appreciate you. I'll be checking out your videos too and clicking that like button, bro. Yeah. And yeah, be enjoying. You fall asleep to the 620 games. Yeah, do that. Do that and like it's intended. Much like the McDonald's documentary, you just put that on and let it ride. 40 minutes in, I'm conked out. Uh, that's how I am with some ASMR videos too. Just watch that. Somebody just making uh, Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. Just yeah, that's nice. Yeah, then you mix the cheddar with, and then the video ends and this big blaring music in the background. Oh, all right. Turn off my phone. Pass out. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks. Peace out.